Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Yeah, the reason I asked if you've been paying attention to the trials is because there's been, I believe, 5 now total. Now, the one that you mentioned that went before Judge McFadden, that was a bench trial. So there was no jury. So the judge was solely responsible for figuring it out and determining whether he was guilty or innocent. The other 4, though, have gone before a jury, and they've all been indicted, or they've all been not indicted,
convicted.
Like losing, convicted. Thank you, losing my mind. Convicted of all of the charges, and so they're just awaiting sentencing. Does that give you pause at all? Would you be more interested in going for a bench trial or over a jury trial? Like, what are your thoughts after knowing about those cases?
They're completely different than my case. I feel like I can't really look at theirs and say that it would be relatively similar in any manner. I mean, it's just a simple fact that I was not there to protest. I wasn't there to overturn elections. So how can I compare it to somebody who has that mindset? Like I've never had that mindset ever in my life. So I can't really, the rationality, I can't wrap my head around that. So I can't wrap my head around whether or not like I can compare myself to them in any way. If you're asking me if I will have a jury trial or a jury or a bench trial, I mean, there's so much more I have to like understand about the evidence that there is and the political atmosphere during the time frame that my trial takes place. It's just like where my trial will take place. There's so many things that can be up in the air for me to make a decision on that, but I will like make the best decision for myself and whatever will give me the greatest odds of winning. I'll say that.
Okay, makes sense. Now, I want to ask you a question. If you can answer it, if you don't want to answer, that's fine. There was a girl who went into the Capitol with you, a friend of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Has she heard from the FBI? Is she in trouble at all? Because I haven't seen anything. I've now profiled over 800 cases and I haven't seen anything. So,
yeah, I mean, her name's Jade, right? Maybe you did or didn't know. Jade Sacker is her name. Basically, I mean, we were shooting a documentary together. And so, yeah, I was there to shoot a documentary of what was going down at the Capitol. And we followed the story for months, all the way up until that point. And so it's not like we just conjured up, grabbed the camera and decided to go there and start recording. Anyways, she was with me throughout the entire time at the Capitol. There wasn't a moment that we weren't together. Like there's like a sliver in time where the shooting happened and she wasn't there. That was it. But that was like probably like 10, 20 minutes or so. But everywhere else, like we were step by step. Like literally I was holding her hand. Like that's not even, that's like I was holding her hand because she gets lost at protests. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, she gets lost a lot. So I make sure I keep her around me so she doesn't get hurt. Yeah, because I mean that especially that day there was so much going on. Like if you were in this crowd, like they would just push you and you wouldn't have any control. So like being able to protect her against like maybe like these bigger men who are obviously there for violent things. Like it was like my main priority to do so. And nothing else came out of like charges against her. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another thing I have issues with in a way because like she was with me the entire time, and yeah, you're gonna be like, you're gonna say I did, like she didn't do anything. Like what? Okay, that's. I guess I will be proven in court or not, but hey,
Right.
she she's disappeared. I haven't talked to her
Yeah.
for quite some time, and it's fine. I have discrepancies at this moment in time with their production crew or whatever, but it's how it is, and I think it's for the best because it's just the government will try and use everything they can against you, even if it's morally and ethically wrong. They will do it, and it kind of sucks to see it that way. But
Mhm.
that could be a contributor, and that's why I think there's loyalists inside the DOJ and stuff that is going to come after you uh, for things that you might not have done, and so they've came after me harder than people who have organized, who have funded, who have uh, like done the most egregious things. I haven't
Mhm.
even done like even a quarter, not even like anything that would even relatively meet the sedition that they've had. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and they haven't even gone after them. Like, so everybody knows by now they took money from me, right? I won't say too much on it other than where have they taken money from anybody who else that has directly funded, right?
Mhm.
This rally. Like there's people who funded for weapons, for gas masks, for baths, for whatever you want to, there's so many things that you got people there that day. You drove buses, you got gas to go there for in what is the Trump train that was like all along the uh is it the West Coast? So is it the West Coast or East Coast? East Coast, yeah, all along the East Coast.
Uh-huh.
So it when I see this and not a single person has been subject to that, is very biased in a way because and how can you justify that and say that they're not targeting me? Like how can you not say that they're not targeting me? Because at the end of the day, they didn't figure out that I got the money. They didn't do the investigation on me and say, "Oh, look, he has all this money he's hiding." This is not how it happened. Just to let you know, I gave them receipts. Like I gave them receipts saying, "Hey, like look, I have been making money as a journalist," and I gave them like a stack of receipts from that day, and they decided to say, "Oh, hey, we're gonna use this and we're gonna go and confiscate his funds." And first off, my money's in my bank account. Like it's not like I have it under my mattress in a safe in an offshore
Mhm.
account. Like
Right.
if I any criminal, all right, first off, if I was doing criminal things, you think I would I think I'd be smart enough to say, "Hey, I'll go hide all of this," And I'm
Right.
not saying like that it's right to do, but I mean somebody with that intent is going to do that. And I have no
Mhm.
intention to do that. I was being forthright with them just from day one when they came and asked me for their assistance. And this is how they came to me. The day after the Capitol, the FBI arrested me and or detained me and say, "Hey, we know we heard you're there, and we want to see the footage that you have, and we want your help." And I would say, "Okay, yeah, I'll help you," because like I want these. The whole purpose of me going there was to hold these people accountable because they were gonna like try and change the narrative to it to be Antifa and all of these other excuses on, uh, you know, how it was everything but them. And so
Mhm.
my goal was just to document that and let people see